Welcome to week 3 of Geology and Our Environment. So far we have looked at internal processes and the surface features that they create, mountains, trenches. We've looked at surface processes, so groundwater running down those slopes down to the ocean, carrying sediments with it, the movement of material down, and our soils. This week we are going to take a deep look at groundwater, water pollution, and air pollution, and we're really starting to get at our interaction with our environment. You have now gained enough basic knowledge of the geology that you can really start to look at our impacts on that geology. So this week we're going to describe the impacts that human activities have on our environment. We're going to link those impacts to the natural environments and processes that they affect. And specifically, we're looking at our water resources, our groundwater resources. We're looking at water pollution, and we're looking at air pollution. And if you live in an area with glaciers and deserts, you may look a little bit more deeply at Chapter 9 as well. If not, you can skim the chapter on glaciers and deserts and refer back to it as you need. This area is one that I particularly love, and it's very important to me because it's where I live. The video that I hope you take a look at in your additional resources is a video of cave divers actually diving through the Floridan Aquifer, and this is very near where I live. It's in North Florida, and this aquifer is a limestone aquifer. Now, aquifers that are sandstone or gravel have very small pores and the water travels slowly through them. The aquifer over which I live is karst. It's a limestone aquifer, and over time, slightly acidic water, so rainwater is naturally acidic because it combines with carbon dioxide, and that slightly acidic water dissolves calcite, which is the mineral in limestone. And you can get small dissolution features, or over time you can actually develop underground caves. If those caves collapse, you get sinkholes, and sometimes the sinkholes can connect directly so that the surface water is connected to the groundwater or the aquifer system. In this video, cave divers go through sinkholes to directly access the Floridan Aquifer and then dive through it. It's super exciting. I hope you watch it because I love it and I love this area. And also because I've done some work on this, and I want to talk to you briefly this week about the value of doing an internship. So when I was an undergraduate, I was offered the opportunity to work for the Florida Geological Survey. This was such a valuable experience to me because of what it taught me about field work, about map making, about working on a drill rig, surveying springs, checking out sinkholes. All of these things I got to do as part of this internship and have used throughout my career, and also the contacts that I made. So I was hired by the man who later became the state geologist. So Dr. John Arthur is now the state geologist. Harley Means, who took the picture that you may recognize from your example for your field issue, is a friend of mine, and he's the assistant state geologist. And all of these contacts and friendships I made through that internship. So as you work through your courses, consider what you think you want to do. Make contacts, particularly in maybe in your state or local government, in work in these areas. I would even recommend volunteering first. Many times I have encouraged my students to do that, and they've ended up with careers with that organization, because when you see a student come in who wants that position so much that they're willing to just work for free to learn it, you want to let that person in. And then usually after a month or 2 months of seeing their dedication, you tend to find funds for them. So try that if you can. And for many of my students, that has been a great step towards launching their career. So anyway, this is an area that I love, and so I hope you really enjoy this section. What do I want you to do and be able to take from it? Well, For your final project, you have already made your fact sheets 1 and 2, your discussion board on geologic dangers. All of that will be used in your area characterization. You've now written your field log issue paper 1. Congratulations. Now is the time, as you get this work back with comments, to make the revisions while they're fresh on your mind, and then pull out the field log template from Canvas and go ahead and plug this work in so that when you get to week 5, you know that you can do it and you're ready to go to finish up the course. What we're going to do new this week, your discussion board will focus on environmental problems. So like I said, we have been looking at the geology. Now we're looking at our place in it, specifically in terms of water and air. So look around you in your area. You're going to find 2 issues and describe them for your peers, and then together you're going to try to come up with some potential solutions. Why will this matter to you in your final project? Well, the last section of it is a comparison section, and you will be comparing your area with another person or another student's area. And so reading the information about issues that they see, having the information from last week about their surface processes, you can use this as you write up your comparison section. You will also do your fact sheet 3. So water resources and quality in my area, you're going to look at what's available in terms of groundwater and surface water. Some areas rely much more heavily on groundwater because they have it. Other areas may not have an aquifer that's usable for them, and so they tend to be more heavily reliant on a reservoir, so they may have to dam up a stream and then use the water from that for their community. So what does your community use? What are issues associated with it? What is the water quality of that source of water? You're going to write about those for your fact sheet. And then finally, you're doing your second field log issue paper. So you know the drill for this now. You did it this last week. You'll get your comments and use those comments as you write your second one. Make sure that you make it the best that you can do so that hopefully you'll have minor revisions to go ahead and plug it into your field project.